Imagine standing between the posts for a nation that the global sporting world often overlooks, carrying the immense, crushing weight of millions of hopes on your shoulders while facing continental giants with nothing but sheer willpower, tactical discipline, and a pair of worn gloves. This is the profound, unvarnished reality of a man who transformed from a local talent in a developing West African nation into the undisputed captain and symbolic heart of a footballing revolution. He did not merely guard the net, he guarded the dreams of an entire population, proving that heart, leadership, and relentless dedication can elevate a perceived minnow to the grandest, most unforgiving stages of international sport. His journey is a masterclass in resilience, demonstrating that true greatness is not always measured in transfer fees or global fame, but in the unwavering commitment to represent one's homeland with absolute dignity and unyielding strength. The genesis of this extraordinary athletic journey began in the vibrant, bustling, yet economically challenged capital city of Bissau, Guinea Bissau, in the early summer of 1990. Born Elton José Xavier Gomes, he would soon be universally known by the affectionate nickname Vozinha. His early environment was defined by the rich cultural tapestry of Lusophone Africa, but also by the stark realities of limited infrastructure and scarce resources. In a country still finding its footing after decades of political instability and conflict, football was not merely a pastime, it was a vital escape, a unifying language, and a rare beacon of hope for the youth. Growing up on the dusty, uneven pitches of his hometown, he developed a profound connection to the game. Unlike many of his peers who dreamed of scoring spectacular goals, he was drawn to the unique, high-pressure responsibility of the goalkeeper position. He learned to read the game early, developing sharp reflexes and an innate understanding of spatial awareness, all while navigating the daily hardships of a community that demanded resilience from its children. Recognizing his raw potential and commanding presence between the posts, local coaches began to nurture his talents, eventually paving the way for his transition into organized football. He started his senior career in the domestic leagues of Guinea-Bissau, quickly establishing himself as a standout prospect. However, the ceiling for professional development in his home country was inherently limited. Like many talented Lusophone African players before him, he recognized that the path to the highest levels of the sport required a leap across the Atlantic to Portugal, the historical and linguistic bridge to European football. This transition was far from glamorous. It involved leaving behind family, adapting to a completely different culture, and starting at the very bottom of a highly competitive, deeply entrenched football pyramid. He joined the lower divisions of Portuguese football, where the physical demands were intense, the margins for error were non-existent, and the pressure to prove one's worth was a daily reality. His formative years in Portugal were spent honing his craft in the Segunda Liga, the second tier of Portuguese football. He represented clubs such as Sporting Clube da Covilhã and Académico de Viseu. These were not teams with massive budgets or global scouting networks, they were gritty, hard-working clubs where survival depended on collective effort and individual reliability. It was in these demanding environments that Vozinha truly forged his professional identity. He learned the intricacies of European tactical systems, improved his distribution with his feet, and developed the vocal leadership necessary to organize a defensive line under constant pressure. He faced seasoned strikers week in and week out, learning to anticipate their movements and neutralize their threats through positioning rather than sheer athleticism. His consistent performances did not go unnoticed, gradually earning him a reputation as a dependable, highly focused shot-stopper who could be trusted in critical moments. While his club career was steadily progressing, a parallel and far more emotionally significant journey was unfolding on the international stage. The Guinea-Bissau national team, affectionately known as the Gertis, was undergoing a period of ambitious transformation, aiming to qualify for major tournaments for the first time in history. Vozinha was called up to the national squad, and his impact was immediate and profound. He brought a level of professionalism, confidence, and tactical maturity that elevated the entire team. His crowning achievement, during this era, was playing a pivotal role in the historic qualification for the Africa Cup of Nations in 2017. For a nation of barely 1.5 million people, this was a monumental, almost unimaginable triumph. Vozinha stood tall in the qualifying matches, making crucial saves and commanding his defense with an authority that belied his age. When the final whistle blew confirming their qualification, it was not just a sporting victory, it was a moment of immense national pride, and he was rightfully celebrated as one of the chief architects of this historic milestone. As the years progressed, his role within the national team evolved from a promising talent to the undisputed leader and captain of the Juventus. Wearing the captain's armband was not merely a ceremonial honor, for him it was a profound responsibility that he embraced with absolute seriousness. He became the voice of the team, the stabilizing force during moments of high tension, and the primary mentor for the younger players coming through the ranks. His leadership style was characterized by leading through example. He was often the first to arrive at training and the last to leave, meticulously preparing his equipment and studying the tendencies of upcoming opponents. On the pitch, his constant communication and unwavering composure provided a psychological safety net for his defenders, allowing them to play with confidence knowing their last line of defense was entirely reliable. He embodied the fighting spirit of Guinea Bissau, refusing to be intimidated by the reputation or the star power of opposing teams. His leadership was put to the ultimate test during subsequent Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, including the editions in 2019, 2021, and 2023. These tournaments pitted Guinea-Bissau against the absolute elite of African football, including powerhouses like Nigeria, Egypt, and Ivory Coast. In these high-stakes environments, Vozinha consistently delivered performances of remarkable bravery and technical excellence. He faced relentless barrages of shots, often making spectacular, acrobatic saves to keep his team in matches against overwhelming odds. Even when the results did not always go in favor of his nation, his individual performances were widely praised by pundits and fans alike. He proved that a team with limited resources could still compete with dignity and fight fiercely against the continent's best, largely due to the organizational structure and sheer determination he helped instill from the back. Simultaneously, his unwavering consistency at the club level eventually earned him a promotion to the Primeira Liga, the top flight of Portuguese football. He signed with Gil Vicente, a club known for its strong community ties and developmental focus. In the top division, the pace of the game is faster, the strikers are more clinical, and the tactical demands are exponentially higher. Vozinha adapted seamlessly, becoming a cornerstone of the Gil Vicente defense. He was frequently lauded for his exceptional reflexes, his ability to dominate his penalty area during set pieces, and his intelligent, calm distribution of the ball to initiate counterattacks. His success at Gil Vicente further solidified his status as one of the most reliable goalkeepers in the league, proving that his earlier years in the lower divisions had perfectly prepared him for the highest level of domestic competition. Later in his career, he continued this trajectory by joining Cassiopeia AC, bringing his vast experience and leadership to another ambitious top-flight squad, helping them navigate the challenges of maintaining their status in the elite tier of Portuguese football. Analyzing his playing style reveals a goalkeeper who relies heavily on intelligence, positioning, and psychological strength rather than just raw physical attributes. While he may not possess the towering height of some modern goalkeeping giants, he more than compensates with explosive agility, lightning-fast reaction times, and an uncanny ability to read the trajectory of the ball. His footwork is highly refined, allowing him to act as a sweeper keeper when necessary, closing down spaces behind a high defensive line. Furthermore, his vocal presence is arguably his most valuable asset. He constantly organizes his defenders, pointing out vulnerabilities, directing marking assignments, and maintaining a high level of concentration across the entire backline. This holistic approach to goalkeeping makes him a complete modern custodian, one who influences the game far beyond the traditional boundaries of the 18-yard box. Beyond the tactical and physical aspects of his profession, his impact off the pitch is equally significant. He is widely regarded as a role model and an ambassador for Guinea Bissau, using his platform to advocate for youth development, education, and the improvement of sporting infrastructure in his home country. He understands that his success is not an isolated phenomenon, but a testament to the potential that lies within his nation. By consistently performing at a high level on the international stage, he has inspired countless young children in Bissau and beyond to pursue their dreams, showing them that their origins do not dictate their destiny. He has actively participated in community initiatives, donating equipment and offering guidance to aspiring young goalkeepers, ensuring that the next generation has a slightly smoother path than the one he had to forge himself. The legacy of this extraordinary athlete is permanently etched into the history of African football. He is the undisputed guardian of Guinea-Bissau's sporting dreams, a man who took the immense pressure of representing a developing nation and transformed it into a source of unyielding strength. From the dusty, uneven pitches of Bissau to the brightly lit, roaring stadiums of the Africa Cup of Nations and the Portuguese Primeira Liga, his journey is a profound testament to the power of perseverance, tactical intelligence, and profound love for one's country. He did not just play the game, he elevated the global perception of his nation through his unwavering dedication. As he continues to inspire both on and off the pitch, his story remains a powerful reminder that true heroes are not always those who score the most goals, but those who stand firm in the face of adversity, protecting the hopes of millions with every save they make.